Don't be afraid to fail, because only through failure do you learn to succeed. Life only begins outside of your comfort zone. It takes courage to change direction, choose the path your heart agrees with, and walk with your head held high and your eyes wide open. Don't be afraid. A strong quote, which very much relates to the changes Health Humor Life is going through right now, as I've decided to take Health Humor Life in a different direction and focus more on the health aspect of Health Humor Life. There are many reasons for that. I'll get into it in this podcast. I will also give you guys some general weight loss tips, especially diet-wise, which I actually haven't emphasized yet. The 5 things people eat and that put the weight on that they don't realize is keeping the weight on. So I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you why the changes of Health Humor Life are coming, what the new name is going to be, the new direction, the different things we're going to be doing with it. From now on, this podcast is going to be really short and sweet. I'm going to have some motivation for you every time, some motivational quotes, some holistic health tips, everything ranging from diet to exercise to healing methods, natural healing to even spiritual healing, and all kinds of different stuff that you've probably never heard of, because I'm an avid researcher and I like to bring things that are not commonly known to the table. I also like to continue to keep things as entertaining as I can and let the changes begin.
I said I testify, I'm that fitness guy, so please stand by, I can't deny that. I'm here to educate, entertain, and get you fit so your body doesn't look like shit. You know I am here for you, and you know that I'll come through. Cause if you want to lose fat, I can help you with that. And if you're my trainee, I guarantee that you really need my help, because you probably can't even tie your belt. So let me help you lose the size and get rid of your thunder thighs. There is no need.
So welcome to the Health Humor. Oh, my bad. That's a habit. Yeah, actually, the new name is going to be New Age Holistic Health. And the title describes exactly what we're going to be doing with it here. My goal is to grow New Age Holistic Health into an all-around health coaching service, life coaching service, podcast. I'm going to do personal training, I'm going to do nutrition, all kinds of things. And I like to bring on some new coaches, which brings me to the fact that I am going to be looking for a new part-time co-host, possibly a blogger on the website, and potentially a health coach for the future of the website, in which potentially you'll be able to make an income. So I'm looking for someone with a holistic health background. I'm going to be speaking to someone pretty soon. I have no idea if they're interested or not. I haven't brought it up to them yet. So we'll see how that goes. FYI, that was not the new theme song. I am going to be writing one, though. Don't know what the heck it's going to be yet, but it will be something cool. Well, these podcasts are going to be short and sweet. We're going to have some, health natural news each week. I'm going to try to stop saying so much. I got to work on my own podcasting skills. I'm going to be editing all these now. Tyler was editing before, so I'll hear myself speak and get annoyed with myself. Don't forget the free ebooks on the website. Got to remind you about those. That's also a way to join our email list and stay updated. The ebooks include it will include how to get rid of depression, anxiety naturally, natural methods that work. When you're taking a pharmaceutical pill, you're only putting a Band-Aid on it. Your body really needs the nutrients that actually keep you calmer, or the nutrients that keep you from being in a depressed state. I just finished setting up my home office today. I'm pretty stoked about it. I can actually be efficient. It'll be nice and quiet in here. No one will disturb me. So I'm pretty stoked about that. As I said before, I will be offering some limited weight loss coaching pretty soon. The new website is going to be called newageholistichealth.com. The podcast name is actually Short, Simple, Holistic Health Podcast is what I came up with. Just to keep it, everything's just simple. Sometimes you just got to keep it simple. Sometimes I get too creative because I have a creative mind, but this time around it's just going to stay as simple as I possibly can. So the short website name is going to be shortsimplehealth.com. So you can go there. All the other Health Humor Life podcasts are going to remain up. That Fitness Guy articles from way back in the day, those will all remain up. Tyler will probably occasionally be joining me when the podcast fits his need. He was kind of there for a lot of comedic relief previous, though he did give a lot of insight on certain things. So I'll bring him back here and there. Like I said, I'll be considering auditions for a new health coach, so keep that in mind as I'm going through my notes of what I wanted to say on this podcast. My other project I'm getting going, so this is what I've struggled with in my life. So I have so many ideas. I have so many things that I've worked on over the years, so I've become talented at them. But I've never focused on just one thing, and I still can't focus on one thing. But what I'm trying to do is narrow my hobbies down, narrow my goals down in order to really focus on one or two of them and to really focus on achieving them. Because right now I've been way too scattered over the years, trying to do way too many things. That's one of the reasons for the Health Humor Life name change, because Health Humor Life is very broad and I'm trying to make it more focused. So and though I enjoy a lot of comedy and humor and kind of uncensored kind of jargon, that outlet is going to be had a lot more with my music. So if you guys haven't heard my music, it's on mattmichaelmusic.com. I do a lot of comedy songs. I do have demo songs up on SoundCloud right now, and which if you go to mattmichaelmusic.com, it'll forward to SoundCloud and you'll be able to check it out there. You can also go to soundcloud.com and search Matt Michael Comedy Music. Demo tracks will come up there. They're not really professional sounding tracks right now, but that will change in the next few months here. Because right after I get this going, that music's going to be going. My goal is to create a CD within a year. Let's see if I can do it. Year and a half tops. I like to create like a 9 to 11 song CD. I got tons of songs written. It's just a matter of finishing them. That's why I need to narrow my time so I can focus on these goals. So anybody else who has a shit ton of goals out there, I would suggest narrowing them down, picking 1 or 2 things that you really want to do and just put your whole heart into it. Let me get into the weight loss tips for you guys, because I wanted to give you some useful information here. And this doesn't just go for weight loss. It's also for health, general health as well. So I'd like to give you the 5 foods to keep low in your diet, as well as some substitutions in order to either maintain a lean weight or lose weight, or if you're trying to put on weight, muscle weight, then you can kind of eat these and it'll be part of your lean bulk. So the main foods to stay away from, and this is what I tell my clients all the time to remind them: rice, pasta, the majority of breads, sugary drinks, and that includes milk and fruit juice, and pastries, desserts. The reason for this being is because these are very high glycemic carbohydrates, even brown rice, even wheat pasta. And not only that, but there's a ungodly amount of carbohydrates in these, and non-fibrous carbohydrates are what really spike the insulin up. Their structure is that, so it's easily stored as fat. This has been known for a long time, but it's been controversial because of the whole low-fat jargon that the food companies kind of produced over the last 50 to 60 years. So these foods put on the most weight, and especially the liquid ones. So I mean, I could add beer into that as well. As much as I love my beer, I keep it to a minimum because it puts on the fat. Anything that's high glycemic, meaning it has a high carbohydrate amount and a low fiber amount. So any of those foods: rice, pasta, breads, sugary drinks, milk, fruit juice, pastries. So let's go through some substitutions here. What can you substitute for rice? Well, I just had this the other day. They sell cauliflower rice now. I found it frozen at our local grocery store along with the other frozen vegetables, and it's really not that much different from regular rice. You put the same spices in it. I mean, it tastes pretty darn good, and there's literally no calories in it. There's no non-fiber carbs in it. It's a huge difference. So you'll get about 40 grams of carbs or more and like less than a cup of rice. And you'll get, next to nothing in this. I can't remember off the top of my head. Pasta is another one. It's skyrocketing up there in carbohydrates. And if you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to prevent putting on a lot of weight, I would definitely minimize the pasta. Breads, same thing. Pasta substitutions: black bean pasta they have now, edamame pasta. They have some of this pasta that has the white noodles. It looks a little funky, but it actually tastes pretty darn good. And they also have those vegetable little contraptions that will actually make vegetables into pasta noodles now. And a lot of people are using those with very good success. So there's a lot of cool substitutions out there now. And these substitutions are all coming out because people are realizing that this information is very true and this stuff actually does put on the weight. It's just pure science, because it's worked for every single person I've worked with that's used it right. So I'm telling you guys, you cut it down, it'll work. Milk and fruit juice. So I was a huge milk drinker growing up. That's what I had with every single meal. And I remember there was a time in college where I was doing everything right, so I thought, like trying to shed some pounds. And I was like, what the heck? Why can't I lose any weight? And then I realized, I started researching, I looked up the label for milk and I was like, oh, there's a ton of sugar in milk and I'm having that every single meal. So I cut that right out and I just started going down after that. So sometimes it's just one simple thing preventing you from losing weight, or one simple thing that's causing you to gain weight. Whichever way you want to look at it, whichever problem you have, goes both ways. Fruit juice, another one that is just skyrocketing in sugar. Big time, skyrocketing. And then desserts, pastries, we all know that those are loaded with sugar for the most part. So there's substitutions for these though. So milk substitution: almond milk, coconut milk. They even have some no sugar added milks out there now, organic milks, or even raw cow's milk if you can get your hands on some of that. Fruit juice is a tough one because I honestly don't know of one that's low in sugar. They're just when you eat a fruit by itself, they have like the fiber and you have, the contents of the actual fruit there to kind of slow down the digestion and lessen the insulin spike. But when you have a ton of fruit juice and you're drinking it all at once, that's like multiple fruits worth of juice. And that's a massive insulin spike and a massive amount of sugar. So that definitely needs to be stay low if you want to maintain weight. Pastries, desserts, we all know those are sugary. A good way to substitute and make a lot of these desserts is to use either a stevia sweetener or an erythritol sweetener. A lot of that's in the sweetener called Truvia, and to use like a coconut or an almond flour to make your baked goods instead. So those are my tips for today. I don't want to be too long-winded here. So we appreciate some reviews. If you guys have a chance to leave a review on iTunes. We're kind of in limbo with the podcast right now. It's probably not going to be every single week until I'm guessing around late April, May. I want to keep doing. I actually want to do twice a week, but I'm kind of just going to start with once a week and kind of playing around with how much of the workload I'll be able to handle with everything else. I'm currently cutting down my workload outside of this at the moment, working towards it. So I want to leave you guys with something inspirational. I want you guys to leave this podcast right now knowing that you are right where you need to be in life. We're all right where we need to be. Despite our struggles, despite our setbacks, all you got to do is keep moving forward. You're going to have your bad days. You're going to have your times. You're going to have to take a step back, which is what I just did. I took a step back, rested, and now I'm back to it because I have a lot I can offer the world, much of which I have not talked about on this podcast yet, and much of which I will talk about. There's a lot of personal issues that I want to get into that I've had that I'm working on curing myself of, that I've finally found a little bit of success with, and it's very not well known, and I'm going to share it with everybody. I'm going to be writing a book about the experiences. You guys are going to want to hear about some of this stuff, so please subscribe to the podcast for future episodes. I will be doing many interviews, so if anybody has a story to share, a health-related story, I will gladly talk to you if it's something that will help other people. Or if you're someone that's trying to get your name out there and you want to help other people, send me an email. I'll be glad to consider your request to come on the show. And if it's really something that's a great piece of information that needs to get out there, then absolutely. I really enjoy helping other people in any way, shape, or form. So keep learning lessons. Keep moving forward. We'll see you on this new podcast. I'll be checking in non-routinely for the next month or two. But after that, we'll be back to every single week. So subscribe to the show. Subscribe to the email list on the website where you'll also get updated with all the free ebooks and all the free ebooks that will come out in the future. And there will be some, and every single time they come out, you'll be the first to know. So go sign up on our list. We really appreciate the support, and I look forward to, and I thank you for the ongoing support as we go through these changes. And I do appreciate the audience that we have and everybody that supported us with Health, Humor, Life. We love you. Tyler does too. And we will definitely be back with more awesome content in the future. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.